delicious coffee. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Kian, and in today's video I want to actually do something different than normally. If you have seen any of my other videos, you might know that I'm a racing driver, or I love racing. And in today's video I think it's very relevant to actually share my story with you guys, how I became a racing driver, or how I became why I am a talent, why I am racing, what I am racing, how I started, how I never gave up and how I'm still not giving up. And it might be a very good inspiration for you guys. I hope this is an inspiration for you guys to maybe make the decision to also start training racing, or maybe you have a different passion, but I think it's for everything good. So please sit back, relax, and I would like to tell my story. So it all started a very long time ago. I always had this racing passion inside of me. I always had the passion to race, to be the best, to be competitive, but I didn't know how to start. That was the problem. I didn't know where to start and how to train for racing, because there was just simply no money for karting. I mean, I'm not living in a poor family, just not living in the richest family, and we can pay the rent and we can pay the food and we can sometimes do fun things, but that's just all, you know. And yeah, there is money for karting, but just not enough. So I didn't know where to really start, and I didn't know how to give the full dedication until I find out sim racing. And as you can see, I'm still sim racing, because that's just the best thing to do next to racing in real life. A few years ago, I think it's 5 years ago from now, I believe it is, I found out sim racing. I found out that sim racing is an option to become a racing driver. And of course, it was 5 years ago. It was very, very rare that racing drivers had the opportunity to use sim racing as their place to develop themselves, to make their technique, because sim racing wasn't as big as it is today. But I just believed in it, you know. I just gave the trust to sim racing. I believed in it, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use this method to become a racing driver. So I started a few years ago. I bought my own steering wheel. It was a very cheap one. I had to save my money for a very, very long time. But on one day I finally got a steering wheel. It was a very crappy Logitech G920. It was not first hand. I think it was second or maybe third hand. I hope it was second hand. But I was able to use it for a half a year until it broke down. It was a combination of being old, and I do have some rage quits, if you understand what I mean. But it was a really good steering wheel to start with. I started with simulators like, of course, I played F1 2019, 2018, 2020. I played Forza. I played, games like these. But from day one, I also played Assetto Corsa. I played Assetto Corsa 1. I played Assetto Corsa Competizioni. It did not take a long time until I started iRacing. So yeah, I was there from the beginning. From the beginning, I decided to do it full pack. And you have to imagine, I was only 13 years old and I started sim racing. And 13 years old is much older than the average professional racing driver. And that's, by the way, my biggest dream, to become a professional racing driver. 30 years old might sound a bit older than the rest, but you have to imagine a boy of 13 years old in second grade of the middle of high school. And the only thing that he was doing in his life, in his day, and it was also around Corona period, at the start of Corona period, imagine this boy, full dedication, you know. If he's not racing, he's in the gym, or he's doing running exercises, biking exercises, working on his condition, working on his strength, all for racing. And if I wasn't doing that, a whole day was racing. I woke up, I stepped into the simulator, I loaded the car, loaded the track, and it was just racing, racing, racing. I started with some warming up laps, and then I went to the racing track and I did the race against AI, or raced against online people. I started doing league races, and that was every day until the day of today, actually. Of course, it slowed down. That part slowed down a bit because I'm more focused on sponsoring as well. A lot. I participated in championships. I shared my story. I started to make a YouTube video as well. Not a lot. And I'm now on a consistent pace and I really love it. But back then I just wanted to record stuff. I also created my own racing league because I wanted to make my connection bigger, make my network bigger. So I created G-Stacks Motorsport, and the people I've met there is unbelievable. I've met there a lot of people, a lot of good people that I still contact with. Actually, my current teammate in my sim racing team is from G-Stacks Motorsports, and I'm the founder of the league G-Stacks Motorsports. I believe it had about almost 200 members. And but on one day it sadly broke down, and I did not have the discipline and motivation to get it back up again. So I think it was a good way to end it there, and to make my community and to keep my community alive on Twitch and on YouTube and stuff like that. But it was a lovely memory, and I hope to get it back one day, of course. So that was also something that I really highlighted. We did some league racing with it, and it was just a lovely time. I expanded my network, and that was just super, super, super cool. After that, it was 2022, and as you might know, I was sim racing a lot. And in 2022, I actually did something incredible. I got invited by the KNAF. KNAF is the Dutch organization of motorsports. So imagine the FIA, but only for the Netherlands. That's the KNAF. I got a message. Do you want to participate in the KNAF Esports Challenge? You have to qualify, so you have to prove that you're good enough, and but just give it a shout. So I qualified. I was qualified, and I entered the series, and I won the championship, which means I became Dutch champion. Hey! Here it is, my trophy, KNAF Digital Autumn Trophy 2022. Hey, that's my face in it. First place, eerste plaats is Dutch for first place. So that's my Dutch championship, and that's actually my first medal I got from sim racing. Pretty interesting. And why I mention the Dutch championship so loud is because that's where the drama started, and positive drama. I got scouted by YRDA Motorsport, by Jamie Horner in fact. Jamie Horner is the brother of Christian Horner. Well, everyone knows Christian Horner if you know racing. And I got scouted by YRDA, and then I became a junior talent of YRDA Motorsport in the YRDA, Young Racing Driver Academy. And that was a big achievement. In fact, I was 15 years old, and a few months before that happened, I said to my mother, "Mom, I don't know what to do to get into a racing team or something. I'm racing the shit out of me. I'm putting all my energy in the sport, but I don't feel there's any progress." And she told me, "Kian, just believe on the process. Trust the process, and you'll get there." And a few months later, I won the Dutch championship, and I got scouted by YRDA Motorsport. And I don't think that is something not special. I think that's something really special, and it might sound weird, but also something very magical, because my mother said just trust in the process, and a few months later it all happened, which is really I think it's really inspiring. So it's also a message I want to say to you. Please trust the process. Do what you do. Say out loud what you want, and then just trust on it that it will happen. So I said out loud, I want to be in a racing team. My mother said, trust the process. I didn't think about it anymore. I just trusted the process. And a few months later, I got a racing team. And another few months later, I realized, wait, I trusted the process. So that's the best tip I think I can give you. So in 2023, I was Arden driver. I went to England every month because Arden is in England, right next to the Haas F1 team. Well, I think you know which team is better. So yeah, I went to Arden every month. I actually met Gary Horner. We went a lot of training sessions, Formula 4 of course. We trained a very lot. I also ran my first 10k marathon, which was really nice. Just a side thing of course. I did some European championships in sim racing. I kept being active, and I had some very good finishes in the European series. These were drivers all over the European place, and the championship is known for the best European sim racing championship with the best European drivers from SimGrid, which is an organization in the sim racing branch. So that was really nice. And I also participated for the first time in the Daytona 24 hours. I participated in the Nürburgring 24 hours. I did the Petit Le Mans, and I think we won that, but I have to recheck that. Yeah, that was just super lovely, you know. It was a really good year, and yeah, I was so ready to go to 2024 to get my first racing season, to finally get into the Mazda MX-5 Cup or the Formula 4. And I was just looking for sponsors. I was looking for sponsors since I was 15. And that made me a racing driver. And my trainer saw things that not a lot of people saw. My trainer is Steve. And Steve is a bit of an older man. And Steve is known for being the trainer of me, the circuit trainer, the track trainer, the racing trainer, but also the trainer of Oscar Piastri. He's also worked with Piastri. He has also worked with Lando Norris for a short amount of time. He has worked with a lot of big names. Dan Ticktum. They've all sat in the same simulator as me, which is really special, of course. And Steve has seen things in me that not a lot of people see, and that is that my car control, firstly, is a possession. It's a talent that you cannot teach, but you can simply possess, and that's something that I'll never forget, because that makes me a racing talent. Next to that, I have an ultra focus. You can also not train, you have to possess. So I can focus myself on racing. You might have seen that in the crash videos. I was just fully focused, but I had to crash. And yeah, you know, many more factors that I can't mention in just a video of this, a short video of this. And I will never forget that. That's the biggest compliment I've ever had, because you don't want to know. I mean, I don't think you can imagine how much work it has been in the past five years of pushing and work, because I knew that I was falling a bit back, because I was already 13 years old when I started focusing on racing. So I had to give extra much pressure and work, and I did. And Steve told me those things. And Steve has seen Oscar Piastri drive, has seen Dan Ticktum drive, all these drivers, and he tells me that I'm an elite driver. When I was just 16, I'm now 17, but this was when I was 16. That's what he told me. That's something that really keeps you on the track. That's something that really motivates you, and it's just so lovely to hear, you know. So yeah, that's something that I want to also give to you. Please put in the hard work, because that will bring you to the place where you want to be. That will give you those compliments on one day. So trust the process, give it everything. 24 this year, and when I'm recording this, it's not done. One more month. I had the opportunity to test Formula 4 cars, to actually participate in Formula 4 races, and to participate in the whole Mazda MX-5 Cup Championship, which is a national championship. But there was no money. There was just no money, and I was looking for sponsors, and I had a good investor and I had a good sponsor that I could rely on, and they told me that they wanted to help, but last minute they didn't help, and that was yeah, that was something that really stopped me from being okay. That was something that really stopped me from being motivated to keep going. Of course, it's not motivation, it's more discipline. But it really affected me that all those people who I talked with, and it was a lot. And it was a really lot, and all those people told me they wanted to help me. They were interested, and still they thought it was just not good enough, and that was affecting. But I don't see it as a failure. I see it as a lesson, and I see it as me now being able to be more interesting for sponsors. So that's what I'm currently doing. I'm just calling everyone. I'm looking for all those sponsors. Perhaps you know someone. And I'm just calling every company I can imagine of. I'm trying to race in 2025, so let's get myself on track in 2025. I hope my story is more clear for you, and maybe I'm gonna make some more videos about it, because I wanted to keep it short but steady. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope it was a bit inspiring for you. Everyone, please follow your dreams. It's important to follow your dreams, and everything's possible. If I can do this, if I can race next year, you can definitely do it as well. I hope to guys see you soon, and good luck. Thanks so much.